Ever feel like your team is busy all day, but somehow your sales still aren't growing the way you expected? That's where Copper CRM caught our attention, as it brings your contacts, deals, emails, and follow-ups into one place. Yeah, that sounds great on paper, and we've all heard promises like that before, but does that simple approach actually work once you start using it every day? So we spent some time going through the platform to find out. Let's see whether Copper is really worth considering for your startup. Okay, let's start with the activity feed, as that's the first thing we spent a bit of time looking at after getting into Copper, and it didn't feel confusing right away. It gives us a clean feed showing what's been happening across your contacts and deals. What we liked is that it isn't just an email timeline. It also keeps track of meetings, notes, phone calls, SMS, form submissions, and all your to-dos, so you can scroll through and see the full conversation with a customer without jumping between different pages. We actually found ourselves using the filters quite a bit because once your feed gets busy, it's much easier to only look at the updates you need. There's also a section that reminds you about upcoming tasks and follow-ups, which is nice because it keeps important things from slipping through the cracks. The next thing we tried was task management, following up with leads, reminding ourselves to send an email, or making sure someone on the team finishes something on time. So we started creating a few tasks, assigning them, and seeing how everything worked together. Thankfully, it all felt pretty straightforward. You can create a task, add a due date, assign it to yourself or a teammate, and link it to a contact, company, deal, or project. What we liked is that tasks don't just sit in one hidden menu. They also show up inside the related record, in your task list, and even inside your feed, so it's pretty hard to lose track of what needs to be done. We also liked that bigger jobs can be broken into smaller subtasks, which makes longer projects feel much easier to manage. Overall, it felt simple, organized, and something we'd actually use every day. After that, we spent quite a bit of time inside the pipelines. If you're handling leads, closing deals, and then delivering projects afterward, having everything connected makes a big difference. The pipeline is visual, so you can literally drag and drop deals from one stage to the next, which honestly feels much nicer than updating long spreadsheets. We could quickly see where every opportunity was, which deals were moving, and which ones had been sitting there for a little too long. Copper also shows tasks and due dates right on the pipeline cards, so we didn't have to keep opening every single deal just to check what was next. That actually saved more clicks than we expected. What we also liked is that once a deal is closed, you can turn it into a project instead of starting all over again somewhere else. The customer information stays connected, so the handoff from sales to delivery feels much smoother. Add in customizable stages, pipeline templates, AI flags, and simple automations, and it feels like a workflow. Okay, once we had a few deals set up, the next thing we looked at was how Copper handles contacts and company information. Instead of keeping customer details scattered across different places, everything related to that person or business stays together. Here, every contact can be connected to a company, and from there you can see emails, meetings, notes, phone calls, tasks, deals, and projects without digging through different tabs. We found this really helpful because before reaching out to someone, it only took a few seconds to understand the whole relationship and where things currently stood. Another thing we liked is how all the different record types connect with each other. People, companies, leads, opportunities, projects, and tasks all link together so you can move between them naturally without losing context. If your team needs extra information, you can also add custom fields to store details that matter specifically to your business. Overall, it simply keeps customer information organized, easy to search, and easy to update, which honestly is exactly what we'd want from a CRM. The next feature we tried was workflow automation. After trying it out, we found that Copper keeps it pretty simple. You basically create a rule with a trigger and an action, so whenever something specific happens, Copper automatically does the next step for you instead of making you do it manually. For example, when a deal moves to a certain stage, Copper can automatically create follow-up tasks, update records, or even move a closed deal into a project. You can also build rules using different conditions, so the automation only runs when the criteria you've set are actually met. Next, we wanted to see how Copper handles reporting, and thankfully Copper gives you quite a bit of flexibility here. Instead of only showing a few fixed reports, you can build dashboards around the numbers that matter most to your team. You can even add different charts, graphs, KPIs, and metrics, then rearrange everything however you like. So after spending time with Copper, we came away with a really positive impression. Overall, we think it's a CRM that's easy to grow with. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.